Brooke has an amazing history here as a mega agency owner. She's been a speaker at one of our events. Now she's working with agencies all across the country, helping them. If you're an agency owner on this call and are interested in being a part of Brooke's program, she's basically full, but I bet we could twist her arm and get one or two more to work with her. Check out her info, craigwigginscoaching.com/Brooke with an E. craigwigginscoaching.com/Brooke. She's amazing and can actually work directly with you and your team. But today she's working with all the teams, all the agencies. We got hundreds of people on this call, Brooke, hungry and eager to learn from you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us today on how to build your pipeline. Take it away.
Don't mess up. Lots of people watching.
No pressure. No pressure.
Fun. How's my hair? Am I good? Okay.
You look amazing.
All right. Well, I'll get started then.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you for the introduction. Again, my name is Brooke Brolo. I'm an agency owner in North Little Rock, Arkansas. I put a picture of my family here. This is my husband, Jason, and he actually works with me at the agency. He does all of our HR, all our back-end audits, pretty much anything else we need him to do. He's like up for the task. And then I have two boys, Briggs and Jax. Briggs is right here on the right. He's 13. And Jax, he is 9. He'll be 10. We are a huge sports family. We love baseball, football, all of the things. Speaking of family, this is my Brolo Insurance Group family. And literally my team died when I showed them this photo, because of course I practiced this on them and they're like, what are you doing? Why are you showing that photo? I'm like, because it represents us. Like, we work really hard, but we're also a lot of fun. So a little background about me. I opened Scratch in February of 2008. And about a year or two later, I purchased $1 million book, grew several years organically, and then purchased another book in 2017. And then thought, you know what? Why don't I open another Scratch? So I opened a ECP in 2019. So at one point I had 3 agency locations, but merged to one when COVID hit. So it was like kind of a blessing in disguise. We get merged down to one agency, one book of business. It's been really great for us. Never say never, but I'm probably never going back to multiple agencies. It's a whole different beast. But I have 11 total team members and 3 that are remote, and we're about $9 million in premium. But let's get to the reason that we are all here today. So building your pipeline, I feel like a lot of agents that I talk to, and even my own agents over the years, they tend to get like stuck. They like plateau. They're like, okay, I've written 20, 25, 30. Like, how do I level up from here? Like, where do I go? Like, I can't seem to get over the hump. What do I do? So I think there are a lot of important questions that you should ask yourself. So, what are my lead sources? Do you know all your lead sources? And if you are you using everything that is available to you and at your disposal? And then, of course, utilizing technology and duplicating yourself with automation using your CRM. Are you doing that? What are you feeling like every day, within your pipeline? Is it junk? Is it bad leads? Are you hanging on to stuff you shouldn't? And then what does your activity look like, which is all in bold here, because that is huge, because nothing else matters if you're not doing the activity, right? So what I thought I would do is just kind of break all of this down into sections, and we'll kind of do leads. And I have sorted it into 2 sections for us. So paid leads and free leads. So here's all the different leads that I could possibly think of that, I've done and everyone else has done. And you can look at this and probably go, okay, I do that one and that one and that one. Ooh, I don't like those. I stay away from those. So maybe you're only using a couple of them. And maybe you don't know what is at your disposal, or maybe you're like, I don't know, I've never done it. I don't know what it's about. So we're going to take it a step further, and I'm going to talk about each one of these, just high overview. And then we'll move on to our next category. But then I'll stop for any questions regarding these lead types that you may have. Okay, live transfers, the most expensive lead out there. If your agent is buying them, please work them to the best of your ability. Please answer the phone and don't let it get missed. My team can tell you, like, they're probably walking by the window right now going, because I always, when that phone is ringing and I see that it's a live transfer and it's rang 2 or 3 times, I'm yelling through the agency, money ringing. Like, it is so expensive, guys. And if your agent is investing in you and driving business to make your phone ring, that's one less dial you have to make, then you should make sure that you are working them. There's pros and cons, obviously. You know, they're likely price driven because whoever's calling them, like the telemarketer, is probably saying, like, want a cheaper price? Like, here's, let me connect you with an Allstate agent. But that's your job to get out in front of that, build the rapport, talk coverage, you know, kind of change that mindset and stay away from price. And the good news is, like, you didn't have to make the dial. Someone else is doing that for you. You know, sometimes you'll make 30, 40 calls and just get hung up. As Harrison in my agency said, I got hung up in my face. Like, so what? If you did the dialing or they did the dialing, that is something less that you didn't have to do. So please make sure that, you know, if your agent is paying for those, they are very expensive. And so please be working those. Internet leads. So similar, their data, they usually come in as form as an email or straight. I don't know what's happening with my watch here. It's dinging. I'm just going to take it off. Sorry. But speed to contact is important because it'll come through your email. It'll come through your CRM. And you are not the only one that's getting it. So other agents are getting it. So, you know, you want to get that phone call, because if you're the last in line, I mean, what's the excuse? I didn't request that. Yeah, you did, because here's your information. Well, I'm not interested, because they're just so overwhelmed. They're bombarded. They went online and filled something out and they're like, I am over it. I don't want your quote. So it's important to get there quick, but it's also critical to have many contacts, 8 to 10 attempts in the first week alone. And when I say attempt, a call, a text, and an email is one attempt. Okay, so you've had 8 to 10 of those in the first week alone. However, if you don't get them, you never get them on the phone, like, don't give up, requote them out and have a good requote process. And we'll get to requotes later, but I've gotten many, many, many internet leads 2, 3, 4 years later that I kept working because by that time, you're probably the only one that's calling. Everyone else has given up. My next one is direct mail, which is my absolute favorite of paid leads, because they are calling you. They've set aside time to call your agency and say, hey, you sent me a flyer. I want to talk to you about this. However, they're holding that little brochure that says $600 for your $500,000 house. I mean, we all know that this is a marketing piece that is, you know, designed to be driven to drive people to call your phone, right? So you got to eat the frog. And I think that Joseph was the one who coined this, or he started saying this, I don't know, but like now we say it all the time, like, eat the frog. I mean, right out the gate, like, you have to address that because it's not going to be the same price that is on that piece of paper, that brochure. But your goal is to give them the very best deal based on their personalized information and the coverage that they need to be properly protected. You get out in front of that, and then you go on with the calls. But these are our favorite. We love these. And then the next is social media. So everybody's on social media. I mean, I can go down a rabbit hole like on TikTok for like hours, but people are on Facebook. People are on Instagram. If you have a post that is doing well, like maybe it's a video, maybe it's a photo, maybe it's something you wrote, I don't know, that's getting a lot of engagement, you can actually boost it. And it's not very expensive at all. Choose your duration, choose your budget, choose your audience, and get leads driven to you that way as well. Okay. Oh, so this concludes the paid lead section. And to me, it's important when you're diversifying because, you know, the live transfer or your good old phone people, the internet, people on the internet, direct mail, people that still like to go to their mailbox. So you're hitting them where they want to do business, right? So I think diversifying is super important. Now we'll hit free leads. Free is my favorite. Free is all the agents' favorite because it doesn't cost us any money. And there's so much opportunity within your own book that you probably don't even realize it. So requotes, we kind of touched on that earlier. this is a great because you already have the information. Like you don't have to like go through the whole rigmarole of quoting them again and getting all the information. It's there. You just have to get them on the phone, and update the information and say, has anything changed? I mean, it's a super easy conversation. Mr. Smith, hi, remember me, Brooke? I quoted you a couple months ago. You said I could quote you again. Are you still at 123 Main Street? Do you still have that Ford Escort? It's the only car I can think of at the moment. But you're talking to them, be assumptive. Because if they're saying, yeah, I do, then you're quoting them without asking for the quote. And so we love requotes. It's already there. All you got to do is update it and go. Cross sales. So cross sales, they're already your customer. They trust you. You already have their business, part of their business, but you can expect to get a list, say, okay, this person has a home. I don't have their auto. Hey, Mr. So-and-so, we have your home. Can we quote your auto? Like, no, there's a better way. There's a better way. You want to always lead in with a mini review. They're your customer. You need to earn the right to ask for more business. I promise it'll be much more well received if you call them, review their coverages, educate them, talk about recommendations, end with discounts, and then guess what the biggest discount is? The cross sale. So then you go for that cross sale and go for the close. Win backs, my favorite of the free leads. Because it's an opportunity for redemption. Because, I mean, let's be honest, most people leave us for rate. Okay. Yes, we can have terrible billing fails or terrible claims experiences. Those are, one-offs and a whole nother conversation. But for the most part, people leave you because they're trying to save money. But that was then, how can we help them today? And then they come to find out sometimes the grass is not always greener on the other side. Like we do a damn good job of making sure we give extraordinary customer service and we make sure we take care of them and we talk coverage and we're reporting. It's all about protection. And so when they leave, if we can't get, we give them an excellent exit experience as well, because we want them to feel welcome to come back. And so when we call them in 6 months and we're like, hey, Mr. So-and-so, how's it going? We would love to we miss you so much. We'd love to have you back. Oh, so glad you called. These people went up on my rate, didn't even tell me, didn't call me like you used to. Then I tried to get an ID card and couldn't even get an ID card for 2 days. Like, you don't know what has happened with them. And then you're there to be like, yay, come back. And then that increase, that's just not something they really talk about that much anymore because they come back and we get a ton of them, guys. So you should be utilizing these. There's a termination audit you can do and work them like crazy. Customer referrals. I can't see Joseph's face right now, but I think that he would agree with me that this is the most underutilized lead out there.
I just had to turn my camera back on and let you know that I'm listening. And this is amazing. Y'all, she is giving you gold right now. You need to be taking notes and you might be saying, I need more information on requotes, cross those win backs. Tell me more about those referrals. Do we have training on all that, Brooke?
Oh, yes. I got you.
We got it all, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But yes, customer referrals, look, she says it doesn't have to be weird, right? It doesn't have to be weird. You've helped them with better coverage. Why wouldn't they want to tell their friends, for throwing a gift card? I think that's really cool.
I've heard you say that too before. And I think it's because they're just like, oh, I just got their business. I don't want to ask them for something else. Well, it doesn't have to be. I mean, you just help them with better coverage, right? We haven't messed up yet, guys. We haven't had a rate increase. We haven't made them mad with some billing change. This is the time. This is the time. Thank you for doing business with me. I would love to help anyone, your friends and family, the way that I helped you today. If you don't mind giving my name and number, that would be awesome. If they call me, let them know that you called or you gave me their name and I will send you a gift card because I'm grateful. Like, that's not salesy. That is not salesy. That is not gimmicky. That's real. And like, I would appreciate that. Like, totally. If someone said that to me. So definitely, like, I know that this is not being utilized enough and it's that little piece is gold. So I would definitely encourage you to start using your customer referrals and getting more business. Now, referral partners, mortgage lenders, realtors, make them your new besties, because they are great lead sources and they will continue to feed you. They close at a really high close ratio, but it takes time. It takes time to develop that relationship. You have to stay out in front of them, and you can't just like, here's my card, here's some cookies, send me your referrals. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, you've got to take them to lunch, talk about what's important, for them and their family, like meet their friends, connect on social media, like Facebook groups, like go to events that they're going to be at, participate in group chats, all of those things. And don't give a gift. Okay. I don't even think you can give closing gifts anymore. I'm not really sure, but your gift is to not hold up their closing. I can assure you this, and I work with a lot of referral partners. They don't give 2 cents about your $10 gift card. They don't want you to hold up their $500,000 closing because you didn't get them the binder on time or you didn't quote them correctly. Like, they don't get paid till that closing happens. So you stay out in front of them, you stay on top of it, you treat them like gold and make them priority, and continue that, and they will continuously feed you. And it's great. And we close, I would say 40 to 50% of what is sent to us, which is, I think, a super high close ratio. Next is service team lead generation. Your service team, and if there's service team members on here, let me just clap for you right now, because you guys are on the front lines every single day. You are taking it. You're taking the mad customers, the claims, all the stuff, but you're the one who has the rapport with these existing customers, and so salespeople, when they tee you up and they have given you a cross-sell opportunity, they have done all the work for you. Okay. They've done it all. All you have to do is quote and close it. Please thank them. Thank them for providing that opportunity that you didn't have before they reached out and did all the work. So, and they want to know the outcome. They truly do. They want to know the fruits of their labor. So let them know, either you're writing them or you're future affected dating them, whatever it is, but they're helping you. So make sure that you say thank you. Okay. Last one on the free leads. Self-generation and social media. So, you have your own personal network. I mean, I've got thousands of friends out there. But like making sure, your friends and family, your close friends and family, they have that, coverage that they need. And some people are like, well, I don't want my friends and family. They're a lot of work. I'm like, I get it, but they are also the closest people to you, and they deserve to have the best protection. And it's no obligation. Like, let me just make sure you're protected. Like, you don't have to go with me, but like, let me make sure you're good. If something happens, I can sleep at night. But my friends honestly know what I do. Like, I'm out there, I'm relevant, I'm in the community, I'm posting tips, educational posts, I'm sharing stories of someone I helped. So, I would encourage you to also do those things on social media. And then I put like 2 little promo ideas out here. One thing that we do every November is a Thanksgiving Day feast giveaway. I mean, and I'm telling you, people love it. They come to our page, they share, they post, they do all the things to get entered. And then I put the little QR code there that you see. I know it's like tiny. I don't know how it looks on your screen. It's pretty tiny on mine. But they can click that for an additional entry for no obligation quote. We get tons of activity and tons of quote opportunity from that. Cost us nothing. I mean, and then I buy them a big, huge honey baked ham, $200 feast. It is awesome. I encourage you to do something like that. And then something else I did, this is super small. Sorry, I'll read it to you. But back in February, it snowed. And in Arkansas, like in the South, when it snows, like we shut down. We don't know what to do with ourselves. It's like full on snow day. So I just put a post out there that said, well, post it up in your PJs. Why not see how much you can save and be better protected from mayhem like today, with like a little snowflake, and maybe I don't see what the other icon is. And then that had my web form on there. I got quotes from that. And I was just sitting around. People are scrolling through Facebook in their pajamas while it's snowing. Oh, well, why not? I'll see what I can save. It cost me nothing except 5 minutes of my time to create that post. So I think this concludes the free leads, all the leads section. Joseph, are there any questions, or do you want me to like keep trucking on?
Yeah, we got some questions. So y'all, it's best to use the Q&A. I forgot to say that at the beginning. Use the Q&A to submit questions. It's really hard to keep up with all the chats because everybody kind of chats with each other. Stephanie sent a chat saying our service team member is the best, beyond grateful for her. Y'all, service team generated leads are gold. And to me, that's something that most agencies can get a lot better at, a lot better at. So just understand, service team members, your job is not just to give service with a smile, right? It's not just to be fast and efficient and knowledgeable. Your job is to make sure that we're in position to help our customers when they need us. See, I can't hop in my DeLorean, Brooke, and gun it to 88 and go back in time and fix a policy that was wrong or write a policy that was never written. So I just want to challenge service team members on this call, or those of you that help with service. You should be really seeking to go just a little bit deeper. And there's just about opportunities. There's opportunities in just about every interaction, but really great stuff. So somebody asked, like, what about, doing employee benefits programs, I guess, or sponsoring events? Caitlin wants to know, like, getting out in the community, sponsoring events, stuff like that.
Sure, no, absolutely. I do tons of that. It's kind of been limited because of COVID, but anytime I can get out for an event, and I do a lot of like kid events, like sponsoring schools and stuff like that. And they love to have you like come out on the field and, present the catch of the game, or whatever. So there's tons of things you can do to be relevant in your community. And like seeing your name out there is just going to reinforce what you do and drive business to your agency when they're looking for insurance, for sure.
Franny just said, hey, can you email these slides to me? I got good news, Franny. They're already on the platform. If you go to the live training and live events section on the platform, 2022 live training course, it's already there at the top. Brooke sent it to me this morning. I was like, hey, I'll go ahead and upload it, and I'll attach the video to it within a few hours. Within a few hours, we put every PowerPoint on the platform. So Franny, that's good news for you and good news for all y'all. Let's see here. Gloria wants to know any advice for generating leads on social media or virtually if you write for a state that you do not live in, so you're not able to meet people locally. That might be a challenge.
That is.
What do you think? I got an answer, but what do you think?
Let's hear your answer. Let's hear your
answer.
I need a minute. That's
throwing a lifeline. Y'all, I promise, I wish I knew who did this so I can give them proper credit. I think that I heard this from Allison Donor. I'm not sure if it's a team member she worked with or somebody else, but there's an awesome process that a top performer, top producer does. Every single client she writes, she asks them for a favor. Brooke, pretend you're my customer. Brooke, do you appreciate what I've done for you today? Are you thankful? I'm asking this wrong. Brooke, would you say that you're completely satisfied with how I've taken care of you today?
Oh, you're amazing. Of course I do.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. I would love to ask you a favor. It would really mean a lot to me. I'm going to send you an email with all of your stuff in it and all that stuff. I'm also going to include a picture of my business card. If you don't mind taking 2 seconds, saving that picture of your phone and uploading it to Facebook and just sharing a quick note, a quick little testimonial of how I helped you today, that would mean so much to me if you would do that. I'd really appreciate it. So I'm just going to send it to you. And if you want to do it, that'd be great. No pressure.
Not a problem. Of course.
And that team member got most of her business from it. I just wish I could give them credit. I can't remember where I got it from. And it's not my idea, but I love it. I've taught it to 2 agencies today. 2 agencies today. I've said, y'all start this today. Every single person you write, you take a picture of your business card, you send them an email, ask them to share it. Ask them to share it on social media because other people will see it. Other people will see it. So I think that's a wonderful way. You can get involved in groups. Groups are awesome. Community groups, local groups, all that kind of stuff. My friend Amanda at Curtis's office, we all know Amanda, our emergency contact girl, right? She's amazing. And y'all, as an FYI, I'm going to be making some major revamping. That doesn't make grammatical sense. I'm going to revamp the CWC scripts pretty heavily. And I've got a lot of stuff that I'm going to add, including the emergency contact top path for referrals. But Amanda doesn't live in Utah, right? But she's really good at getting referrals from customers. Right? Really good at getting referrals from customers. So that's pretty cool. Let's see here. All right, we just answered that. Daniel wanted to know just a little bit more. What would you typically say to like start the relationship of building a relationship with a referral partner? Like, how would you maybe start that off? Now, we've got some amazing content that Daniel Austin's done, that Greg Blanchard's done. If you just search the word referrals, you'll find tons of stuff. But Brooke, what would you maybe say to start the relationship?
I mean, if you are starting from square one and you don't know anyone, you know, we have people that purchase new homes all the time, and you get that binder and you have the information of the person and the loan assistant. Make friends, email them, call them. I wanted to check in. Is everything going okay? Is the tentative close date still XYZ? When do you need this by? All like just go above and beyond. Day before closing, yay, I'm excited about your closing today. Anything you need from me? Like you can start there. And then if you connect with them, then like have a conversation like, hey, I would love to take you to lunch. That's where you can start the conversation. And that's where I would start the conversation. And of course, in social media, like commenting on people's pages and being relevant there, you know, and you can connect easy. I've connected with tons of people that way I've never even met. So I definitely think those are definitely ways that you could do that.
Amelia just asked, can we have a post-close talk path for asking for referrals for life and retirement? Amelia, I'm about to rock your world. CWC documents. The very first document in CWC documents for agency staff is titled CWC scripts in PDF format. We also have it in Word format if you want to edit them to make them your own. And now we have them in Espanol. Oh no. When I add more stuff, I'm gonna have to get them retranslated. That was a pain. The first time it was so bad. Brooke, Monica Jacobs, like, Joseph, this is bad Spanish. So I had to get somebody else to fix it.
I have someone if you need someone.
Okay, for reals?
Yeah.
For reals? Okay.
I'll
save me like $1,000.
Too fluent. I got you.
Amelia asking referrals. That's page 13. Page 13 of CWC scripts. Asking for life insurance. Page 15. So Amelia, we've got you covered. We got scripts. Dive in. Amanda Doyle. At what amount of production should you look at separating production and service for an agency? So I'm guessing Amanda's maybe an owner. And y'all, some people are hybrids. You know, my friend Scott sent me a chat to remind me, hey, I've got hybrid team members. They do service and sales. Great. But Brooke, high level advice on when they might look at maybe specializing. Amanda wants to know.
Honestly, when you feel like your production is kind of plateaued, because there's always, when you are a mix, there's always going to be the excuse when you're trying to hold people accountable and hold them to standards they need to do and quote volume and this and that, which we'll get to later. You know, if they don't have the time because they are working on a large claim or a billing issue or something like that's going to hold them back for doing that. Like I did it pretty quick, pretty quick, separated the two immediately when I was smaller and then grew from that because I want my best people that are in service doing the service. I want my best salespeople selling. And I have a quick divide. I have one hybrid person because she's a really good mix of both, but that's kind of unusual. And I'm actually trying to get her over to sales because she's really a salesperson, even though she thinks she's a service person, but she's really sales. She just likes that other aspect of it. So.
My good friend Valerie, we got some questions on paid leads, so I don't want to forget those. My good friend Valerie and Bill from Balky Agency. Do you find aged internet leads are better than real-time leads because they don't have a bunch of agents calling them? Have you ever tried aged or old leads?
I don't. I've never done aged leads. I do today data.
Yeah.
But I know some people used to, I can't think of who they are, but I know there are agents that have had success with them in the past.
Yeah, some good sources would be iLeads.com, like iPhone, but iLeads.com, agedleadstore.com, and you're spending pennies on the dollar to buy the data. That's how Justin Harkerode built his book. He would buy several thousand.
That's who it was. I knew someone did.
Yeah. You know, and he created a follow-up tool with Mark and would dump them in. That was their main source. So yeah, age leads can be good. Let's see here. If internet leads, Daniel wants to know if internet leads are kind of set up to be price driven to begin with, right? They're shopping likely to save money. It's not because they want better value and better coverage. I added that aside to his note. What is something your team does to make the transition? To me, it seems once they're told about a cheaper price, it's an uphill battle. So I think he's also talking about telemarketing leads.
I mean, I think
you're just say about that.
Most people are going to tell you that they're shopping for price.
Yep.
So we ask them, What has you shopping today? Price. We know that that's coming. Our follow-up question is, aside from price, what is important to you? What's the most important thing other than price to you? And then we take that and we run with it. It could be, I need a local agent. I don't have anyone. So when it comes to price and we're talking about protection and all that, we can come back to, well, remember you didn't have a local agent and we're here for you. And like, we're going to bring this value to you. And, you know, people will pay more for value, something this is why someone drives a Buick and someone drives, you know, a Ferrari. Like they'll pay more for it if they find value in it. So that's how we normally do it. I mean, if you're building the rapport and you're talking the coverage and you're doing all that, and then you wrap that back in of whatever their concern was, that's going to help you a lot overcome that.
That's right. We
And
got to
that's
make
in the
it
scripts
all.
as well.
Yeah, we got to make it all about the coverage, y'all. We got to make it all about the coverage and our advice. The advice that you give is worth the price. So how do we do that? Following CWC sales process scorecard and, you know, building rapport script, legal liability script, assumptive close script. It's all there. Most people are going to give off the vibe that they're just trying to save a few bucks. And you know what? Why wouldn't they be interested in that? I'm cool with that. Let them think that. I don't want to talk about just saving them tens of dollars, though. I want to talk about saving them tens of thousands of dollars, right? And we do that with our talk paths. Couple more quick questions, because don't you have a few more slides?
Yes.
Okay, this is only like half the point, right? Let's see here. Any Instagram ideas? Javier wants to know, and somebody also Amy asked, do you do TikTok, Brooke?
I do TikTok. I'm not really good at it. I'm more
Okay.
of a, I do it with my kid. So they're super embarrassing. So don't go find me. And now that everyone's going to probably go find me, and now I'm going to have to do something. But, you know, I do Instagram, and like the reels that you can do through there, and then like share, I think it's called like your story. I do a lot of that. And then you can tie it to your Facebook, and then it like flows to both of them. So you only make one post instead of like two different posts. So.
And y'all, check out the 2022 live events. On the live events and live training section on the platform, scroll all the way down to the bottom. You'll see a most recent live event, 2022 live event in Vegas. I think it's chapter 6, 7, and 8, or 7, 8, 9. I forget. Christina Shaw, Kevin Spann, and Las Vegas.
Nick
Saka. Nick Saka. They are all awesome on social media. They each did about 25 minutes in Vegas. Go watch their stuff. Christina Shaw, Kevin Spann, and Nick Saka. Nick and I follow all three on Instagram, and some of them do TikToks too. Really cool people to follow. But we got to keep it fun, interesting, engaging, not call me for a quote. Call me for a quote, right? I hate the end of the month, y'all. I'm friends with 5,000 people on Facebook, 3,500 easily insurance. The last few days of the month, Brooke, I'm scrolling through my news feed. What do I see? Desperation. We're so close to our goal. Give us the call. We're trying to get 3 more cars. Y'all, no, right? The way you use social media is way different. We've got some amazing content on the platform. I know you have a lot more to go through.
Okay.
Guys, if you have more questions, submit them on the Q&A. I'll mute myself and let Brooke power through the rest of her presentation. Then we'll do more Q&A at the end.
Perfect.
Good?
Okay. Okay, now that we know everything about leads, let's talk about your CRM. I hope that you have one, and it doesn't matter which one that you have, but I hope you have one. They are literally designed to help you stay organized, duplicate yourself with automation, and like prompt you to follow up on your leads. Like that is what it's designed to do. So it doesn't matter which one that you have. I know different companies have different ones, because it's only as good as the information that you put into it. Because if you don't put any information into it, it's not going to do anything. Like you might as well not use it. So I have some really like simple examples here. So the better notes that you have on your lead in your CRM, the more you know, you're going to know what to focus on. So when you're like writing one, you know, and you're putting your notes, you know, if you're like quoted auto, quoted another auto, whatever. But if you have like quoted monoline, and then you have another lead that's quoted home in 3 cars, like which one are you going to focus on? Which one are you going to chase? I'm chasing that home in 3 cars because it's going to help me scale faster. You know, not that I don't want the monoline, but I want the other one more. So I think it's important that you make really good notes there. So in my agency, you must have the core 4. That's what I call it. Where the lead came from, what you quoted, notes that tell a story of what you did, if you emailed them, text them, if you talked to them, if you had a conversation, what it was about, any rapport that was built, things about the customer, and then a workflow on or an appointment or task set, period. So I'm going to show you an example here. Okay, so bad lead at the top. Okay, this is me. It says Brooke, test Brolo. So here's the information. I use Lead Manager. I'm Allstate, so I use Lead Manager. And then here's the notes section, and it says quoted insurance will follow up. Cool. Where did the lead come from? You have no idea if you're looking at this. You know, what did you quote? You said you quoted the insurance. What did you quote? Well, how are you going to follow up because you don't have a task or an appointment set, and you don't have a workflow on that's going to prompt you? So what really good is this information? And if you're like, oh, no, I know that person. I'll remember them next week. Well, then you're not quoting enough because you shouldn't. And I can guarantee you 6 months from now, you're not going to have a clue. This is not going to help you close it in the future at all. Let's go to a better way to do it. Look at the good lead info below. One look at this and I can say, oh, okay, I quoted an existing customer. She's cross sale. I quoted her umbrella. My notes say it's $253 a year. I talked with her on the importance of liability. She told me that her home was paid off and asked me to call her and her husband. Like, I know where it came from. I know what I quoted. I have the notes. I know exactly what's going on. I can reinforce the home is paid off and like really drive home coverage and liability protection. And then I have my appointment set. So I know when to call them and I know who I'm talking to. Now, if they said, you know, well, call me next week, well, then I'd turn my workflow on. But like, don't you all agree? This is a much better way to have your leads out there so that you can filter them and know what to chase and keep good leads in your pipeline. This is a bad lead. This is terrible. This is terrible. This bottom one is a really good one. And this is what they should look like in my agency. And I look for those 4 things like clockwork. I have pipeline accountability. I do the whole 9 yards. I learned everything from Ryan Shale. He is like lead manager king. I am really good, but he is great. So if you're wondering more about Allstate Lead Manager, he can definitely, I think there's some stuff out there on the platform as well for this. So next thing that we're going to talk about, because none of what we've talked about so far matters without the activity. Everyone wants to know, what is the secret sauce? Like, what is the secret? It is activity, y'all. It is activity. You got to be dialed in. You got to limit distractions. You have to put in the work. What is your activity? Your activity is daily quote volume, because if you're not talking to customers and getting quotes, you're not writing. Talk time. So I've got a lot of abbreviations here. I'll try to go quote volume, talk time, outbound calls, and your CRM tasks, inbound calls, anything else, all the other things we talked about on ways to get leads, all of that activity, because it is truly a numbers game. If you talk to enough people, you're going to get a yes. If you're not getting the leads or you're not getting the sales that you want, you're probably not doing enough activity. So I'm going to show you some easy examples of what that looks like, because I can't tell you what your activity needs to be. Like, that's a conversation with you and your agent. But every single person in my agency, my sales team, my hybrid, and my service team, everyone has minimums that I hold their feet to the fire. They have minimums they have to do, but they also have goals, and we really strive for those goals. So if you don't know what your quote, average quote is, I promise you there's a report out there. You can find out what it is, and then you can kind of figure out from there what you need to do. But for this example, say you're quoting an average of 7 quotes a day. Okay. Based on a 20-day month, that's 140 quotes. So let's say your close ratio is 18%. So if you have 140 quotes and you're closing at 18%, that's going to yield 25 items. Okay. Now if you were doing an average of 10 quotes a day, giving 60 more quotes to your bottom line, but still keeping that same close ratio, now you're at 36 items. So you've added 11 more items by quoting 3 more people a day. Well, how do I quote 3 more people a day? Do more activity, make more calls, do all the other things that we just talked about, all those different lead sources. You know, calling, like in my agency, this says 80 outbound calls generates 4 household quotes. I'm looking for 5 as a minimum, not goal, 5 as a minimum. And that means 10 quotes because you live somewhere and you drive something. That's a household quote for me. But if you call 80 people and that gets you 4 quoted households and you're needing 5 or 6, well, then maybe you need to increase your call volume by 20 or maybe 30 or maybe 40 calls, whatever it takes to get you to that level of quote volume that you need. And let's say you're in your CRM and you've completed your appointments, you've completed your assignments. You're like, I'm done. You're not done. Your CRM has like a lead bank. We call it Shark Tank. And there are tons of probably thousands of leads out there that you can go in and you keep feeding that pipeline. You filter. I like to filter quoted leads because I'm working smarter, not harder. The work's already done for me. The quote information's there. I just have to update it and get to calling. And then you smile and dial. So activity matters, guys, so much. If you are, with everything that we're talking about, you have got to have daily activity. So let's kind of have a recap on building your pipeline of things we've talked about. So if you want to sell more items and you want to break out of that plateau and scale up, activity is the biggest key. And I could do a whole webinar on activity. So, and there, I'm sure there are out there, I'm sure Joseph will tell us, but that is really key because you've got to put in the work. And you've got to diversify. You can't just rely on like 2 or 3 lead sources to get you there. Like, why would you not want to like turn on all the faucets you can to like fill up your pipeline, fill up your bucket as fast as possible, doing all these different things. And so you need to know all the lead sources. And if you're like, okay, cool. Like now that you showed me all these lead sources that I didn't know, I'm interested in them, but I don't know how to work them. Joseph stole my thunder. I was going to say, well, yes, you do, because you can go to the on demand and find all that information. There are, for each one of those leads, there are talk paths for them. You're like, I'm interested in internet leads. Well, John Pavley is like internet king. He's all over the platform. And if you're like using your CRM and you think you're using it good, but you feel like you're chasing all the time, maybe you should watch Mastering the One Call Close with Mark Mercer. I think he does like 30%, maybe higher than that. If he's watching, he's probably like, it's higher than that. But he closes a lot on one call close and stops the chase. There's so much information out there on the platform to help you. But all of these things here are the perfect storm that are going to help you get out of that rut and get over the hump and write more business. So kind of in closing, I just wanted to add this because this is huge for me. I'm a big serial optimist. It can be annoying. I'm sorry for my friend, you know this, but mindset is everything. You got to have a good attitude and you got to give me 100% effort because I'm not tolerating. Look, I get we all bent, but I can't do negativity. It just doesn't work for me, because if you are positive and you give me effort, and I've heard Craig and Joseph say this a million times, it's not like you're out digging ditches. You're sitting in a cushy office that's air conditioned 8 hours a day. Like, we all got into this business to have more money, right? We all can control our money with what, we do or we don't do. So if you want to make more money and you want to have more sales, you're going to have to put in the work. You need to be prepared for your day. You need to have a game plan. You need to invest in yourself and education. And then you got to be willing to make the change. You've got to be willing to do more and make the change, because obviously what you're doing is not working. And so I love this quote. It says, we cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. It's like, duh, aha moment. So I encourage all of you to get uncomfortable, get coachable, and start doing more and break out of that plateau. And if there's anything I can do to help you, I would love to help you. Here's my information. You can find me on all of these things. I'm on Facebook the most, but you can find me on Instagram as well. And you can email me at Brooke at craigwigginscoaching.com. So if I can help in any way, and that is my presentation.
That's awesome. Hey, just leave it on. Well, it's okay. No, faces are bigger. Okay. And better, because like, look how good we look. Like, I feel kind of shy right now. I'm just kidding.
It's the ring light. It's the ring light.
Not many people put their info out there when we do these calls. So I would encourage you to reach out to Brooke. If you're an agency owner on this call and you want Brooke to work with your team, check out our programs at craigwigginscoaching.com/Brooke with an E. We got some questions. You want to power through them? Got some
Sure.
questions?
Sure.
So Greta wanted to ask, can you repeat the 4 core for CRM?
Yes. So it is, I want a folder that says where it came from. Okay. I want to know where my lead came from. I want to know what you quoted. I want to know what was quoted. Was it the home? Was it the auto? What was it? I want notes that tell a story. I need to know what you talked to them about. Did you email them? Did you call them? Did you talk to them on the phone? What was the conversation? And then a workflow on that will, drop emails and prompt you to have tasks to call them and all that. Unless I want that on, unless you have an appointment where someone said specifically call me on this date, then you can create the appointment, because you don't want the workflow dripping in the background saying, hey, call me. Or like, you're supposed to call me on Tuesday. So you want to make sure you're organized like that. But those are the core 4.
Melissa is brand new. I'm currently doing some service, but I'm taking my exam in 2 weeks. Do you have any suggestions on how to start to build my pipeline now?
Good one. And the platform, everything we just talked about, and going on to CWC, and start with your friends and family. It's so, I tell my new hires, I'm like, hey, I know it's weird, but like, you can say, I'm starting a new profession. I would love to quote you. It's no obligation, but like, it would really help me out and like, give me some people to quote. You don't have to go with me, but I want to make sure, can you be my guinea pig? I have my people do that. I'm like, hey, I need like 20, 25 sheets. And I give them a little incentive. I'm like, hey, anybody that you bring me, you get $5, a quote. I mean, that's how I do it. But they will bring it in. They will ask their friends, and have that auto and that renter and that home quote to start. So it can kind of start building that. And then, hey, if you write them, great. Then even like social media, hey, just wrote one of my friends, gave her better protection and even saved her some money, and then just start building that way. And then, like I said, when you're quoting people, make sure you have a good requote process. You are not going to write all of them. Period, end of story, or you'd have 100% close ratio, and that nobody has that. Save that information and make sure you make good notes so you can reach out to them in the future, and then it will all start snowballing for you.
Absolutely. So Kelly wants to know, what math do you do to find the close ratio for your quotes? How are you calculating that?
I use the reports. With Allstate. They show the different, I don't know it like by memory, but there is a report out there. I think that you can go like to your serious quotes from Dash and then go a step further, and it will show you the close ratio for each of your people. That's how I use it.
Some agencies, as you know, we work with all the carriers. Some agencies do it based on quoted households to closed households. So that's one way that you can do it. So you can look and say, okay, LSP quoted 60 people. Hold on, let me get my handy dandy calculator. Producer agent quoted 60 people and she wrote 12. So 12 divided by 60 would be a 20% close rate. Some agencies do it based on quoted policies to closed policies. So maybe she quoted 60 households, wrote 40 policies. I don't know. So 40 divided by 60, well, that would be a much higher close rate, right? So it all just depends on what you do. But if you use the same metric for everything, then you can back into what we need to do. I am a big fan of looking at quoted policies to closed policies. Yes, more closed policies will be more items, but that can be kind of convoluted. How many policies did we quote? How many policies did we write? So that's the way that I like to track close rates.
Keep it simple.
Let's see here. How would you probably structure doing business via Instagram? Javier wanted to know, any Instagram tips?
I think we just did that one, did we not?
Yeah, that was another person asking about TikTok.
Listen, when I went to Vegas, like one of my biggest takeaways was getting better. Like if you were on here early, you saw me having tech issues. Like that's not my strong suit, but I'm getting better at it. And there are a lot of people out there that can help you much better than me, but I just put relevant information. I put something educational. I put my friends and family. I put my kids out there. I stay social. And then you can do fun things like that little one I did when it snowed in February and things like that. But look, he's going to it right now and he's going to show us where we can find it.
So what I wanted to show them was where the live event was, since I mentioned it earlier. So all of you have your own learning paths, right? Team members, you just see these 2 learning paths. Oh, let me snooze my 10-minute reminder. We got 10 minutes. You don't see this one. So let's say I'm a sales team member. I've got the live events and live training courses. If I scroll all the way down, we'll see live event 2022 for staff. You guys only see this if you only have staff level content role. There's 8 or 7 more chapters in this one that's for owners. But here, live event. Let's see what chapters it was.
Yeah,
I was
Kevin,
so off.
Nick,
7, 8,
Christina.
9. 7, 8, 9. Y'all, Christina, Kevin, Nick. Awesome. Awesome to study on how to use Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, social media. These 3 people are great. And then you can search on the platform. You can search on the platform for all kinds of great content as well. So I just wanted to show that real quick. Nick asks an interesting question. How do you structure your day? As I'm guessing he wants to know as an agency owner.
Like as me?
Yeah, as you.
Oh, I'm not the right person to ask. Anybody knows me, I am like squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Like I'm very hyper. But I come in on a structured day. I come in, I obviously greet everyone in my agency. I want to, have some coffee and some like morning, motivation with them. And then I get into my email and I just start structuring my day from there. I have coaching calls, so I'm very tied to my calendar. So I'm like, I have to structure that way. Who says I have a scroll issue too? Yay, Jackson. I'm not the only one. But that's not my strongest suit. I wish I had a better answer for you, but I just try to meet with my team every single day. I do have team meetings once a week. I have a sales meeting, a service meeting, and a team meeting. We'll have individual one-to-ones. Everything is on my calendar. I have to structure it that way, or I am off to the next thing because I'm like super ADHD.
Just wanted to show you all the power of search. Check this out. Allison did a great training on time management. So I'm on the platform searching for time management. Allie did a great training this year. Boom. Oh no, that was Justin. Hold on. Where's Allison's? Okay. I forgot Justin did it. Allison did one in January, but Harkle Road, who I talked about earlier, how he did age leads and creative follow-up tool, blah, blah, blah. This is a really great training. I forgot about this one too in June, but Allison's live training comes to mind because she actually gives examples like for sales team members, for hybrid agents, for owners. This is really good for anybody needing help with time management because he did clarify, I wasn't interested in Brooks. I was interested in producers' time management. So sorry, Nick, but for those who want to know what Brooke does all day, check it out, man. I think that you'll get a lot of value from Allie's training and also Justin Harkleroad's training. Just search time management on the platform. Dude, we have everything on the platform. Like, what do we not have? I don't know. All right. Already answered some of that.
I still watch stuff on the platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always
I
getting
love
better.
it. There's new stuff out there all the time.
That's right. Andrea said, I don't have a question, but I just want to say Thanksgiving Day feast is amazing. Love that and plan on doing it.
It's awesome. It's awesome. And I have my kids like do the drawing. They think it's like so fun. I put them out there and they're like, and say the name. So it's really good. And we love giving it. And sometimes we'll do it for Christmas too. So, but it's one of our biggest things and people know, and they look for it. When are you going to put the information out there for the Thanksgiving Day? And like November, like I have to get on it because they know it's coming. It's really awesome. So like find your niche in something like that and you'll have success with it for sure.
Let's see here. Jada said, found them. Good. Thank you. Let's see. Mike says, do you have separate personal social media accounts and business accounts for your insurance representatives to keep everything, away from work, keep it separate? I can answer that. No. Like, guys, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. You're not Coca-Cola. Who cares? Like, you create an agency page, like an individual, like producer page. Nobody's going to like it. And guess what? Nobody's going to see your content anyways, unless you're paying to boost it. You got to boost the stuff. People do business with people they know, like, and trust.
My
I'm a
business
big
page,
fan. Yeah. I'm
my
a big
business page
fan
is
of
not fun.
balance.
My
Yep.
individual page is fun, and I'll share
Yeah.
stuff to the other one to make it fun.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Just to give you a brief example, since I'll just take over here. If I go to Facebook, remember it was the Facebook? Y'all remember that? The Facebook. Let's go to my profile. So I'm not in insurance anymore. Well, I mean, I kind of am. I train thousands of insurance people, but I'm not in agency anymore. But look at the balance. Have a balance of business, personal, business, personal. All right. Business. I did a webinar a couple hours ago at Quote Wizard. It was awesome. Personal. Why do I think people care what I eat? I don't know. I don't know why I think people care what I eat. But
I
I
love
get
to
lots
see
of
your group
likes.
post.
I get lots of likes. I don't know. All right, personal. Look at my beautiful wife. How lucky am I, Brooke? How blessed am I? Look, again, people care what I eat. I don't know. Business. So it's a mix of business and personal. Kid's birthday party. So see, mix it up, y'all. Business and personal. I did not have the cutest twins. Did I not? Like, they were not. Thank God they both grew up to be little cuties. They're cuties now. Yeah, cuties. They outgrew it. Y'all just having a balance. Business, right? Personal. Well, no, that's semi-business too, because that was at Vegas. Business. So see, y'all see this balance? That's what I want you to strive for. And now I'm realizing how much food I post. That's weird. But I'm going to keep doing it. I don't know why. Let's see here. Melissa said, thank you for the advice. Would have said something sooner, but was on the phone. Have a wonderful day. Okay. Thank you for saying thank you, Melissa. You're awesome. Samantha said, you're making us all hungry. Sorry, girl. Yeah. Any more questions? Are there any more questions at all? Again, asking the Q&A, not the chat. I can't keep up with all the chats.
And thank y'all so much for having me.
Oh,
I hope that I provided you with some helpful information. And if there's anything that I have that I can help you guys with, or any documents, the majority of the documents that I have come from the platform for sure. But I'm just grateful that Joseph asked me, and I love helping people. So I appreciate y'all having me so much.
heck yeah. Now, I did forget, and he just reminded me, somebody asked about new hire training. So Allison Donner, every 6 to 8 weeks or so, leads a new team member training, which is really good. The prerequisites are here in the live events and live training sections. Whether you're a service team member or sales team member, there's prerequisites, and it's called something. All right, hold on. Where is it? Here we go. Prerequisites for new team member live training. It's 6 hours, 55 chapters, and you're supposed to do it like over 3 to 4 days. So you can see all the stuff. Really great stuff for people new. And then at the end of each day, she does an hour of Q&A/additional training. We do this for free. There's other companies out there that charge $750 for this. We do it for free. It's included in your membership. So this is a wonderful resource for people that are new to insurance. If you just search this on the platform, new team member live, you'll find it. Really, really great stuff. So I just wanted to show that to him. Kalisha said, Brooke's hair is fire. Gorgeous.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I washed it finally.
Eva, if your securities
for
license, if your securities license, is there a reason why you can't use social media? Eva, I'm not sure which carrier you're with, but you can use social media. You just can't post like, call me to get a guaranteed 12% on your mutual funds, right? You can't like post stuff about investment advice or specific products. You're with Allstate. You can definitely have social media. You have to put a disclaimer saying my views and representations don't necessarily represent the views of, or whatever. You not just Google the compliance, but Brooke's on Facebook, everybody's on Facebook. You just have to put that little disclaimer, right? And you can't talk about anything securities related. Mortgage broker. How would you approach a mortgage broker on LinkedIn to become a center of influence? William, I got to refer you to the platform because we're out of time. If you search the word referral on the platform, you'll find some awesome live trainings that we've done. The one that we did with Daniel Austin in August of last year, amazing. It's literally titled How to Use Social Media and Mortgagee Changes to Generate Referral Partners. It's awesome. Daniel Austin is another great TikToker and Instagrammer. He's also one of our newest coaches. But he's only doing social media stuff. Not like individual mentoring. But anyways, that August of 2021, that's what I meant to say. August of 2021, If you just search word referral, you'll find that course that we did with Daniel Austin. It's titled How to Use Social Media and Mortgagee Changes to Develop Referral Partners. It's awesome. We're out of time. Brooke, any final words and thoughts from you before we let everybody get back to work?
Thank you. And you guys crush it. And thanks for
Awesome.
having me again. Anything I can do to help, I'm here. I'm always a resource. I love helping people and just appreciative to be part of the CWC team.
Yes, ma'am. We're so glad to have you now as our newest coach, and she's almost full. So for owners out there, check her out. CraigWigginsCoaching.com/Brooke. Now, team members, we got business to write, y'all. Get off this call, pick up the phone, call somebody, quote somebody, close somebody, get them the coverage that they deserve with you and your agency today. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week. Now, get back to work. Let's go. See y'all later. Bye-bye.